Hi, everybody. How's it going? Sorry, still having technical difficulties this early in the morning. Go figure, right? That's my life story. Happy hump day. Happy Wednesday. Glad you're here with me today. Thank you for taking the time to tune in. And I just want to let everybody know ahead of time, while I appreciate you being here, and we're going to definitely touch on everything that's I want to with regard to Ark and the Ethereum ETF. I do have to keep things pretty streamlined and quick today, and a last minute appointment came up, so I've got to make sure that I'm out of here on time. But let's start off by seeing who is in the chat. And Chris Hanley, first in the chat. Good morning, sir. Appreciate you being here. Automatic Beats right behind him. Good morning, Automatic Beats. Appreciate you here as always. All right, so what we're going to do is I'm going to take a quick jump into the markets, kind of get through most of that, maybe the top 50, and then I'm going to get right into the topics at hand. So let's get into the markets. And let's put up the not financial advice because you know how that goes. All right, I can refresh that. Now you can see Bitcoin right here, currently at 70,726. So up above that $70,000 mark again. As a matter of fact, not all that long ago, within the last, I think, hour, it was at 71K and kind of pulled back a little bit. So we're seeing some upward action for Bitcoin, and that's good overall. And let's zip on to Ethereum. Today's topic of conversation, pretty steady, been right around that 38K mark. So 37.99.36 right here. BNB looking mighty strong, almost $700, up 16.6% in the last 7 days. As we talked about yesterday on the Matrix Money podcast. You got CZ starting his sentencing, and basically the BNB price just keeps going up. I love it. Right there, Gary Gensler. Anyway, and I'll be saying that a couple of times today, probably. And here we are with Solana looking up a little bit, 3.5% in the last 24 hours, 172.53. So definitely up from the Matrix Money podcast yesterday. And I got to get here and go get Automatic Beats right there, Solana, to the moon. All right. Appreciate you, Automatic Beats. I appreciate you. All right, let's keep going real quick. XRP still holding in that 52-cent range, has basically become a stable coin here at this point. Doge back up above the 16-cent mark, not bad. Cardano holding another stable coin right here now, holding in that 45-cent area. AVAX, not bad. It's pretty steady, about $36. Chainlink down. I mean, for the longest time, over the last week and a half, Chainlink has been up, even though still well below the $20 mark that I think is still a good buy for Chainlink. Right now down almost 7% at 1772. BCH, again, use it for what it's meant to be used for, up a little bit today, 478. Uniswap, look at this, up 15.9, so say 16% in the last 24 hours at $11.16. Again, another thumb in the eye to the SEC with their Wells notice. We got Matic still under a buck, still holding in at 71 cents. Litecoin looking pretty steady here, 83.86. Pepe, which was on a rise at the first return of Roaring Kitty, now down 6% over the last 7 days, but still looking pretty good. Let's see, keep going down. Caspa, we can't not stop at Caspa. Look at Caspa, is on a tear right now, up 36.5%. So just under 19 cents. That's up significantly from the live stream yesterday, Matrix Money podcast, where we were talking about that with Jar. Render, one of those D-pins that you'll be able to vote for every Friday night. Crypto on the Rocks, 7 p.m. Eastern time. Looking pretty good at $10.40. And while we're talking Crypto on the Rocks, I just want to put it out there again. I'm going to be putting it out all week to remind everybody. I have a family obligation on Friday night this week, so there will be no Crypto on the Rocks. There might potentially be an after hours crypto, which is on Patreon, but that's going to depend on what time I actually get back from the family event, the family outing. So again, sorry everybody, this week no crypto on the rocks at 7 p.m. Eastern. We will be back next week. All right, let's keep going real quick, and then we'll get on to the topic at hand. H bar, 10 cents. I mean, goodbye for H bar as I see it. WIF down almost 10%, $3.40. Immutable X pretty much steady at $2.29. Filecoin, again, didn't make the cut for the DPIN voting, but Filecoin, $5.99. Stacks, if you're into the building on Bitcoin thing, up 13.8% in the last 7 days, $2.24. Floki looking pretty good, up 20% today in the last 24 hours. Crazy. Unbelievable. Monero, listen, yesterday it wasn't even at $160. Here we are, up almost 15%, 163.42. You know, I keep saying it. Privacy coins are going to be a humongous need come 2025. They just are. And you know what? I think we're going to stop there when it comes to looking at the markets so we can keep moving on up. Again, appreciate everybody being here. If you're new here, make sure you hit that subscribe button, tick that bell icon, click the all, that way you get notified every time I go live and or drop a great video. Appreciate it. And don't forget, smash up that like button, smash it on up. All right, let's get to it. So again, the main topic today was Ark Invest pulling out of the Ethereum, the spot Ethereum ETF race that's going on right now, with people getting their S1 applications in order and getting them to the SEC and trying to get those approvals in order to start trading and start funding the ETH ETFs. Now, a couple of things I want to touch on, and we're going to do a little bit of looking back in history, about 3 weeks ago now, but still back in history here a little bit, is I'm not sure that these Ethereum spot ETFs are going to meet with the same kind of optimism and fervor that the spot Bitcoin ETFs did. As a matter of fact, I think there's a lot less demand for these spot Ethereum ETFs. Now, there will be demand, obviously, because, you know, a lot of these investment groups can't invest in stuff that's outside of regulated stock markets. Holy Moses. I need another cup of coffee. Cheers. And so having the ability to tap into it, much like with the Bitcoin, having the ability to tap into the price action of Bitcoin is certainly going to be a very important thing. But the first thing I want to touch on, like I said, I'm going to go back in history just a little bit. And is it related? Probably not, but I want to touch on it. At the end of the day, Ark Invest is not the first ones to pull out of the ETF process here. About 3 weeks ago, I brought up this article, Grayscale withdraws Ether futures ETF application. So, okay, a couple of things with regard to this. Yes, okay, we're talking futures. But the point is, like, why? That's my second point, the why. I think that may have had more to do with Grayscale's just taken a beating, right? I mean, since the approval of the spot Bitcoin ETFs, these people who were invested in Grayscale have been making withdrawals and withdrawals and withdrawals. And Grayscale never actually reduced their fees. So I think that there is some combination of things going on with them withdrawing their ETH ETF applications. And I'm going to touch on what I don't know, put on my tinfoil hat, whatever, on the why Ark may have made the decision that it made. But I wanted to point out that they were not the first ones to withdraw an ETH ETF application. So let's jump into the first article. And again, links to everything I'm showing you in the description below, at least as far as Kathy Woods is concerned. I'm going to show you a recent tweet about Gary Gensler, which is where I said I'm going to bring it, and I'll be going like this to Gary Gensler more frequently throughout this particular live stream. But we'll get to that a little bit later. I don't want to get to the fun until the end. So let me, sorry, sometimes I just have too much fun doing this. All right, so here's the first article, and I'm going to break a bunch of this down. In fact, let me do this so it's a little bit bigger for you to and easier for you to see for those who are actually watching the live stream and not just listening. And I appreciate that. Thank you again. So basically, it says it here in the title: Ark Invest out and ends partnership with 21 shares. And just to kind of recap that, basically, Ark Invest has unexpectedly pulled out of the Ethereum race, ending its partnership with 21 shares and casting doubts on the prospects of approval, just as issuers fine-tune their strategy. So basically, what it's saying is, why are they doing this when the SEC has approved it, but and says all they have to do is fix their S1 applications, which are the applications that they have to file in order to get these funds approved and trading and funded and so on and so forth. And we're going to talk about how I believe, and through statements that he's made today, Gary Gensler, though he approved these ETFs, I think is going to slow walk this whole spot Ethereum ETF process. But again, I'm not trying to get too far off topic here at this point. So basically, again, ARK 21 shares Ethereum ETF has been rebranded by itself to 21 shares core Ethereum ETF. So basically, ARK is out of it. It's just 21 shares core, and 21 shares is a major player in having assets under management. As a matter of fact, I did an article about it a couple of years ago now, when they had quite a bit of assets under management. You can go check that out on cryptocoinmindset.com and search up 21 shares, and that article will come right up for you, and you can read it. You know, they've only increased their assets under management from there. But again, go ahead and check it out on the website, cryptocoinmindset.com. Anyway, let's touch on some of what was said here. An ARK spokesperson confirmed ARK believes in its transformative potential and long-term value of the Ethereum blockchain. Whatever. I guess they don't want to blow, shade on the Ethereum blockchain. But at this time, ARK will not be moving forward with an Ethereum ETF. And to continue on with some of these quotes, I want to get as much of the quote information in here as possible. So let's just keep going. And again, I apologize for kind of being in a rush and really stepping this forward. But again, I kind of have a bit of a deadline today that was unexpected. So we're going to try and keep to that deadline here. We remain fully committed to ARK 21 shares Bitcoin ETF, as we believe Bitcoin is a public good. That's true, that everyone should be able to access at a low cost. And so basically, I guess what they're trying to do is assuage any of concerns that, okay, ARK's pulling out of the ETH ETF. What about the Bitcoin ETF? I mean, they are, all things being equal, the winner, the biggest winner with regard to the Bitcoin spot ETFs is obviously BlackRock, followed by Fidelity. I think ARK is either third or fourth, if I remember correctly. So they're not doing, I guess, extraordinarily well with regard to their spot Bitcoin ETF, which, again, I believe plays into the statement that, with the withdrawal of themselves from the ETH ETF, people are like, oh my God, maybe starting to panic. Maybe they're getting questions on their customer service end. Who knows? But the point is, I think that's the purpose of that particular statement from the representative. And then it continues on, excuse me, to say that we will continue evaluating efficient ways to provide investors with exposure to this innovative technology in a way that unlocks its full benefits. And I want to focus on the last half of that sentence because I believe that that's the key to why Ark has pulled out of this particular ETF filing. It says they're looking for efficient ways to provide their investors with exposure to this innovative technology in a way that unlocks its full benefits. Well, what are some of the full benefits with regard to Ethereum? Well, Ethereum is no longer proof of work like Bitcoin. It is now proof of stake. Change that many of us in the crypto space are not fans of. And I'm one of them. Now, I'm not saying don't hold Ethereum. I hold a little bit of Ethereum because I think you need to. But I've become less enthusiastic about Ethereum since the transition from proof of work to proof of stake. Automatic Beats, I appreciate that comment, but I don't think I'm going to put that one up on the screen. So everybody who wants to see it has to go into the live chat. Sorry. Anyway, but one of the things that has been amended and the SEC is requiring as an amendment to these S1 applications is the fact that staking of Ethereum will not be allowed with these spot Ethereum ETFs. That basically limits the amount of money that these ETF providers can make. Staking ETH for like you and I is just, or well, probably unattainable for most people. And we're going to look at exactly how much it would cost to do that in a little bit. But these Ethereum spot ETF providers, they could easily stake the Ethereum in those plans and be able to earn rewards for being a node validator easily. So the SEC has taken that away. And I believe, my opinion, again, this is strictly my opinion. I know this is not necessarily financial advice, but again, my opinion. That's the reason why Ark is stepping back. I think they're working on something else, a different product, maybe something that is going to provide them with a different advantage than having just your Ethereum in a spot ETH ETF. But also you can have it in something that potentially, beside getting the price action that comes along with Ethereum, because I mean, let's be honest, if the Ethereum price is going to go up with this bull market price. Matter of fact, on the Matrix Money podcast yesterday, we're doing some price predictions, I think, with regard to ETH, and maybe 3x, whatever. Who knows? Bottom line, do your own research. I'm not here to tell you how much it's going up. I do believe it's going to go up, however. Anyway, so beside getting the price appreciation that you would get strictly in this ETH ETF, then if she's able to put together Cathie Wood is able to put together some kind of a product that will allow for ETF type of access with ETH staking, talk about blowing people out of the water. It would give Ark the potential advantage that, like right now, BlackRock enjoys with regard to Bitcoin spot ETFs. Now, has there been any of this information put out there? No, not that I can find. And if it is, tell me about it in the comments. And if you're watching this after the stream is over, tell me about it in the comments below this video. And I'd be interested to know. I'll do another live stream if that's the case. But as far as I can tell, none of that information or any of that is out there. It is merely speculation at this point for me. 100 Airs in the house. Good morning, 100 Air. Yes, and bullish on AMB. Yes, exactly. Appreciate you being here, sir. Thank you. Anyway, so that is where I think that the last part of that statement, that sentence, that quote plays out, where they're looking to give their clients exposure to this technology in a way that unlocks its full benefits. So that is my, again, humble opinion for what my humble opinion is actually worth. But I want to continue down here because this article posits another reason why the Ark might be pulling out of this particular spot, Ethereum ETF. And I think it may play a little bit. However, I don't believe it is the primary reason. I just gave you what I believe is the primary reason. So they go on to postulate, could Ark's exit be a cause for concern? And not for nothing. I mean, it could be that, Kathy Wood on the other side of this thinks, you know what, the money we're going to make by just holding in fees, holding this Ethereum ETF isn't worth the aggravation we're going to have to go through with the SEC. I mean, that's possible too. That could potentially also be playing into this withdrawal from having this ETF and letting 21 shares go on by themselves. But here is the other postulation here on the flip side. And they're saying, or they're conjecturing here, that Ark Invest CEO Kathy Woods claims the SEC unexpected approval of the ETH ETF proposals is likely because of electoral pressure. Now, I agree with that. We've seen, and I've done the live streams to back up the fact that cryptocurrency is definitely a 2024 electoral issue here in the US. And some of the latest estimates range that Americans, somewhere between 50 million and 80 million Americans hold cryptocurrency currently. And let's be honest, we're pretty active block here. So I got to believe that, they want to take advantage of this, which is why Biden, before he did the whole veto thing, was all, well, I'll work with Congress, blah, blah, blah. Because why? Trump came out for it. So I got to do something because obviously Trump is for it. Oh, my God. And he's getting support with that. And, wah. And then RFK Jr. for it, etc. Excuse me, guys. Sorry. Anyway, so to say that this is Gary Gensler's initial approval with regard to this is caving to political pressures, I believe, or electoral pressures, I believe that that's the case. And even to the effect that, is it that pressure and his caving and his change of heart, we're talking Gary Gensler here, with regard to these approvals, part of the reason why Ark has said, we're tapping out. I'm not sure. Again, I'm sure it has some effect. I do. I'm sure it has some effect. However, I don't believe it is the mitigating reason behind that particular withdrawal. And I was going to go into, again, I apologize for those who are just joining in. It looks like a bunch of people just jumped into the stream. Thank you. Welcome. If you're new here, make sure you hit that subscribe button, tick that bell icon, click the all, and on your way in, smash up that like button. I appreciate that very much. But I've got a deadline today, so I've got to kind of get through my thought process here. But I did put another article resource. The description is in the link is in the description of this live stream. You can go ahead and check it out about from CoinGate about Cathie Woods and Ark pulling out of this ETF. But I'm going to kind of move on a little bit because remember, I said that I believe the main reason is, as they said in the last half of that statement, they're trying to bring all the benefits of this particular technology to their customers. So the current benefits to Ethereum or from Ethereum is to be able to stake Ethereum. For those, I mean, the average me and you can't stake Ethereum. I mean, maybe you can. I don't know what your financial situation looks like, but I know it's not like I have that kind of money sitting around to throw into Ethereum to go staking Ethereum. But just to give, this is the Ethereum page with regard to earning rewards for securing Ethereum by staking. I'm just going to bring it down right there because we can see everything we need right there. Basically, this is how much ETH is currently staked. So what is that? 32 million ETH. And those 32 million ETH are on just over 1 million, validators. And they're currently earning an average of 3.4% APY or APR, right? Yeah, APR. Sorry. And now, Jesus. But it right here, in order to stake and have an active validator node, you need 32 ETH. 32. And this is where I said I think that the average person can't afford that. So to that point, how much would 32 ETH be if you wanted to open up a validator node right now? Well, I've got it set up right here. So we can go ahead and look at the calculator right here on CoinGecko. To set that up at current price of Ethereum, you're talking over $121,000 to set up that node. I don't know about you. I ain't got 121K just sitting around waiting for me to throw it in Ethereum to run a node to get 3.4% APR. Cheers, by the way. But again, in a ETF scenario, getting 32 ETH, that'd be nothing. And running an ETH validator node, that would be nothing. And that's where I think, and again, this is pure conjecture on my part. Again, I can't find anything online about it. And again, correct me if I'm wrong. Put the information in the live chat. Put the information in the comments if you're watching this later on. I think, my opinion is, Ark, Cathie Wood, is looking to create potentially some new kind of investment product that not only allows you or will allow people to get the price action and price appreciation from Ethereum, but that will also provide the staking rewards that have been the SEC has forced to be removed from this S1 Ethereum ETF process. I don't know. What do you think? Tell me what you think. Am I far off? Should I fix my tinfoil hat? I don't know. But honestly, I really believe that is the proverbial game at hand. I don't know. You tell me. All right. Now, if you remember in the beginning, we're talking about Gary Gensler and his whole decision-making process being electorally, politically motivated with regard to the ETF approvals. Well, I just found this online right as I was going online. So the link to this is not in the description of this live stream. I'll put it in the live chat real quick so you can actually get to it. But basically, this was an interview that I'm guessing Gary Gensler, as you can see, oh, geez, sorry, trying to get this whole thing in the screen here, did on CNBC. And basically, as he says here, the quote, will take some time. These ETF approvals will take some time. And why is that the case? Why is it going to take some time? Because, okay, he was told he has to approve them. You're not going to go through the court process again and yada, yada, yada. Surely. Okay, fine. But the speed at which he approves these S1 applications, well, that's a whole different issue right here. And I don't believe for 1 second that he's looking to make this happen anytime soon. Again, I forgot to put this, or well, I didn't forget. I was unable to, because it was too close to going live, to actually put the link for this in the description. So here you go. I just threw it in the live chat so you guys can go and check that out on your own. And I don't know. Tell me what you think. I think, and especially, I mean, let's take him at his word. Let's take Gary Gensler at his word. And it will take time. So basically, he's, in my opinion, that means to me, it's going to be on my time frame, my timeline, when I say so kind of attitude, which would fit Gary's treatment of the cryptocurrency space, wouldn't it? Of course it would. Of course it would. I mean, anyway, that's my opinion. So let's wrap this thing up here, because again, I have an appointment I need to keep to a time today. So I apologize that, again, this live stream is a little bit shorter than normal. But so we've got Ark Invest basically pulling out of this ETF spot Ethereum ETF process. 21 shares who they were partnered with is off on their own to go ahead and do this. And 21 shares, no slouch, on their own with assets under management. Again, if you go ahead to cryptocoinmindset.com, my website, you will look up 21 shares. You'll see an article I did about that even a couple of years ago when they had so much in the way of assets under management, and now obviously even more. So you can go ahead and check that out there. But I believe, and again, just my opinion, no proof, I was unable to find anything about this, but just from the statements made by the ARK representatives, I believe that they're looking for a way to provide the benefits of an ETF combined with the benefits of staking Ethereum and running one of those validator nodes and providing that to the public. So I don't know for sure that they're going to be able to do that. But I just find it very telling that they decided, all right, we're out, when the SEC said, no, there'll be no staking. And, that statement from the rep of Ark Invest. You guys sometimes read between the proverbial lines. And that's just basically what I'm trying to do with regard to this. So that's my opinion. That is the current news. Ark Invest is out with regard to spot Ethereum ETF. And that's my opinion as to why. Tell me what you think. I appreciate hearing it. All right. I'm going to start wrapping the stream up right now. So tomorrow, much longer live stream, a lot more information to cover after the recent report from the FDIC about 63 U.S. banks on the brink of collapse at this point. So very important information to get out there, even though, of course, they don't put out the list of those banks because they don't want a bank run, and they don't want, because that would just cause the entire collapse of the system. I'll save that for tomorrow. Anyway, tomorrow, 10 a.m., this channel, and you can watch as I put out all the information I currently have with regard to that. And we're going to follow through some other people who follow this even more closely, some of their videos and comments with regard to this. So I've got all that prepped up. Make sure you're here for that tomorrow. Again, remember, Friday, no crypto on the rocks this week. Family thing going on, family first always. And as far as after hours crypto, potentially, but it depends what time I actually get back. That'll probably end up being a last minute announcement. You'll just get from me on Friday about that if I am able to do that. And then we'll be back at it, normal schedule next week. So Automatic Beast, awesome stream. He always says that. Thank you. I appreciate you, my friend. Appreciate you. I appreciate everybody that was in the live chat today. Thank you for being here. And again, make sure you're joining me tomorrow for that live stream, because it's going to be great and important information with regard to the U.S. banking system. Have a great day, everybody, and I will see you tomorrow, 10 a.m. Eastern Time.